Hello there, I'm Nita Rose, and in this video we are going to talk about Rave Master Volume 21, Chapters 165 to 173. Haru has become completely possessed by his own sword and is willing to take Lucia's life. While Ellie and others are looking for Plu, she managed to find him and take him back with her. Shuda was about to take down Haru before he gets a chance to kill since he lost himself into the madness. But Ellie comes instead and throws Plu at him, hit him in the head, and which detached the sword from him. Haru came back to his senses after taking Plu's nose out of his head and noticed Lucia on the ground having no recollection of what happened. Everyone is glad he came back to his senses, but Musica decided to give him the left hook for what he almost did to Plu. Haru feels guilty and apologizes to everyone and they started to forgive him. But the cave started to collapse and the magic started to go crazy. But what makes things worse is that Lucia gets back on his feet, and then they notice he's possessed by the sword of Sacrifrog, the same demon that possessed Haru. Lucia has possession of the demon sword, but it shows he has more control, since evil controls evil. And Haru is still injured due to the effect of his own sword. Shuda and Musica try to take down Lucia on their own and helped Haru, but the blast from the memories got in the way. Haru was getting sliced and diced and once on the ground before Lucia finished him off. Shuda gave him the opportunity to give up his Shadow Stone for Haru's life, but Lucia was planning on killing Haru with or without the stone, and now Shuda threatened to kill Ellie instead, as he knows Lucia needs the Ethereon. Lucia spares Haru's life as he commands Shuda to bring both Ellie and the stone towards him. Lucia got the last stone, but strangely enough, he didn't bother to grab Ellie. Instead, he stabbed Shuda in the back. Once Shuda fell to the ground, Haru suddenly had the strength to hit Lucia at full force, even though he was wounded. Ellie wanted to check his injury, but then she suddenly gets pushed away as Haru went in for an attack, and the two started fighting without any weapons, just their bare fists. Both Ellie and Musica are watching their fight as they're horrified, but then the old man realized that they're both affected by the stellar memories. As if it's got a mind of its own, it has influence on both Haru and Lucia. There is a connection between the two that is secret only they have, but they don't know it. The two continue the fight as their dialogue spew out between a true leader and having no friends. Lucia believes that being a true leader is having no friends, just slaves, while Haru thinks of the opposite. Once Haru gets Lucia on the ground, he plans on killing him, but doesn't have the heart to do so, and they realize that Shuda is alive, in which makes everybody glad. But then the energy of the memories soon have take form of a giant hand as Ellie started to act strange. The symbol on her arm seemed to have reformed as the giant hand turned into a giant monster, as she calls it Endless. Ellie repeats the monster's name as Haru recognized it from his dreams about Raisha. Haru asked what Endless is, and she replied, "The battle has begun." So pretty much Endless is the final boss to the series, and Ellie seems to know who or what it is. The monster Endless launched an attack as Haru's trying to get some answers from Ellie, but instead of answers, he gets a question from Raisha and asked him to unseal her before passing out. Haru knew that was Raisha because of the dream he had. After Ellie passes out, a member of the DC came along, but not to attack Haru and his group, but to attack the monster Endless. He also came along to bring Lucia back with him. He leaves, but not before giving a little advice about Endless being the destruction of the peaceful world. The monster Endless started to reform itself, and the old man said they should leave and not fight it since it's too dangerous. Next thing that happened is Ellie woke up after Haru told her that she's been asleep for 3 days, and also this guy as well, who is now their friend. Now Haru wants to discuss that one moment when she told him to unseal her, but Ellie couldn't remember. She doesn't remember saying anything like that, and Haru thought back to that moment as if he was talking to Raisha. Ellie might have a chance of remembering as Shuda stole a fragment of the Star Memory Stone and showed them his own memories to prove that it still works even though they denied it. It shows image of Garage Island during the time that Shuda visited Shiba and even have a conversation with Haru's sister and more. Looks like somebody had a good time. Of course, Haru was not having it due to his overprotective sister complex and wants to kill Shuda for deflowering her. I also find this scene very hilarious. They plan on using the fragment to unlock Ellie's memories, but the old man told him that it's not going to work because it's just a small fragment and extension for a limited time. For example, the fragment used for Shuda's memory extended to 1 year ago, and Ellie's memories are much further than that, so there is no hope. But Musica then asked him about Endless and why it appeared, but the old flower man communicated him through the stone and told him about Endless was created by a civilization of time itself, which makes it immortal. So if they ever decide to go back in time to stop the Endless from being born, it'd be impossible because time is just going to create a new Endless. So Haru and the others have no other choice but to defeat Endless in their timeline. In the past, the civilians of time have been using star memories to seal away Endless, but they knew it wasn't going to last forever. But they have faith in this generation because they have a user of Aetherion, the only power that can destroy that monster. However, Aetherion also has the power to destroy, and so it must be used within star memory along with Endless to be fully destroyed. Ellie wanted to learn about her past first, but then she decided to let fate take its course, and then the rest of the crew decided what to do next, and that is finding the last Rave Stone. But they are also reminded that the DC has all 5 Shadow Stones, and they might want to open the door of time. And then it cuts to Seahart returning to his home village after the old man asked him to take back the Shadow Stone that was hidden within the town. Seahart returns to his hometown, Mildia, also known as the City of Time. We are introduced to 2 more characters known as Sheldia and May, who are old friends of Seahart. Later, he visits the elder of the town and tells him about the Shadow Stone hidden within the town, and that it's in possession of a man named Haja. After killing the man named Jacken, he steals the stone. Seahart formed a plan to have everyone in town work together to defeat the man who stole the Shadow Stone. But the elder is more concerned about one other thing, and that is the wielder of the Aetherion is still alive, and was wondering why Seahart hasn't killed her. Oh, wait a minute, I remember this chapter. Yeah, the guy known as Haja takes control, and everyone in town now sees Seahart as a traitor, all because they had to protect time and all that crap. Yeah, sorry, but you idiots are not gonna protect anything if this guy is in charge. Seahart was pinned down by the people of his hometown, and according to the elder, he's become a traitor to them because he stated that humans are the ones that destroy time. Of course it's a human, it's always the human. It's not that creepy man who's obviously the bad guy who's gonna turn the town to dust after he gained all the power he wants. No, not at all. Later, Seahart was thrown into a cell and about to be executed, but then he is saved by a little boy named Libby who disguised himself as the elder and tricked the guards. Seahart wants to know why the elder suddenly changed, but Libby corrected him and said the elder did not change, but Seahart himself did. Being within the outside world made him realize there is more to life than he ever expected. Everyone in that town is so dedicated to their duty that they don't realize how cooped up they are in that place, and Seahart might be the first to explore the outside world. They both made it outside only to be surrounded by mages, and Seahart had decided he's going to fight back and show everybody his will as an elemental master. I remember this chapter as well. Seahart takes them all at once and managed to kick all their asses. No joke, he takes out every single one of them with a single sword. Not even the combined attack from these can stop him. And once the elder comes around into fighting with his strongest attack, Seahart still managed to take him down even in his weak condition. How did he do it? Well, it turns out that the sword he's been using was absorbing the magic from the mages, and he's willing to use it against Haja. And this is where the volume ends. Now, before I end this video, I realized while editing, I might have gotten some of the names wrong. Like with these 2 girls, I thought their names would be Sheldia and May because the app that I've been reading from my phone called Manga Reader. But when I download the pages from the online manga website that I use for my videos, I noticed that the translations were different than the app. And also, Libby's name is actually Nibel. So later in the future, I might not use those names except for Nibel because he will be present in the next volume. And that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out my other parts on TikTok, and don't forget to look me on Discord and X. And I'll see you all next time. Nita Rose out.